Hey, my name is Dan and I used to work at the biggest dealership in the country, and now I teach fine folks like you how not to get fucked when buying a car. Now in this video I want to teach you how to buy a car for invoice, or better not. Because what you think the dealer's invoice is that not actually what the dealership gets the car for. It isn't. Dealer's invoice is just something that's made up. That's not real. Here's the real thing. Dealer's cost. Okay, there's a huge difference between dealer's invoice, which is fake invoice just to show you. That's it, just to show you as a customer. When you're asking for a dealer's invoice, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a car for a dealer's invoice. Yeah, no, you won't. Because dealer's invoice is bullshit. It's just a made up number just for you. Just for you. A car will have between 25 and 35% worth of profit. That's it. 20, 25, 30, 35% worth of profit. You gotta get used to it. People don't believe me at first, but once I show them the numbers, once we sit down and do the math, they're like, holy shit, that's crazy. I was gonna get ripped off. I was gonna pay MSRP, or like some people pay invoice. They still get ripped off. When you buy a car for invoice, you get taken advantage of. That simple. It's just the bottom line, okay? Here's something you gotta take a look at. Check this out. Here's something for you to consider. Dealers have holdbacks. Typically it's 3% or sometimes much higher. So let's say even 3% on $35,000 car. That's over $1,000. That's over $1,000 of just pure profit that dealership is gonna get. Even if you're buying a car for invoice, there's still $1,000 worth of profit. Even at so-called invoice, it's not the actual invoice. There's a big difference between invoice, which is fake numbers to show you, and dealer's cost, which is the real price of the car that the dealership got the car from the manufacturer. And here's the thing. Manufacturer wants to make sure that dealership sells the cars because they have a very good relationship and they'll do anything they can possibly think of to bend you over and fuck you. So they actually give huge incentives and rebates. I guess I would call them rebates for dealerships. So that $35,000 car, just the average price of a car, $35,000, is gonna have $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000 worth of dealership incentives, rebates. I'm gonna call that profit. I don't like the incentive or rebates word. I'm gonna call it profit because this is business and fuck the cool terminology. We're gonna go with just real terms here. Profit. This shit is profit. That money is gonna go into pockets. That's it. Into big businesses' pockets. And where's that money gonna come from? From your pocket. If you're not educated, if you don't know how to properly buy a car, if you do not go out and either find a professional who buys cars for a living, who actually does this every day and has your best interest, here's why we have your best interest. Because you paid us. You paid us. Everybody else, car brokers, and I'll find you a car for free. No, they're not gonna find you a best car. You know why? Because you didn't pay them. Who is paying them? The dealership. So if the dealership is paying them, who has best interest in their mind? The dealership. The dealership. That's it. Car brokers are not your friends. That's why we're not car brokers. I hate all dealerships equally. I want to fight for all my customers equally because they're the ones who are paying us. Kind of cool. It's kind of nice to have somebody like us on your side. But let's keep going with this buying cars for invoice. If you're buying a car for invoice, you're still getting taken advantage of. Here's why. Because you can buy the same car 3, 4, 5 years old for a much better price, 50% off. Isn't it crazy? 50% off the price. Why would you not buy a 3 or 4-year-old car? On top of that, you can have somebody else test the car, make sure the car is safe, the car doesn't have problems, and 3 years later you come in, the car is 50% off, it's tested, you know it's safe, it's tested for quality of the car, you know parts are not gonna fall off it, you know transmission is good. I made a video, just separate video, you can check it out, and it's called Test of Time. If you find the video, watch it. It's about cars being, you know what I'll do? I'll actually have the video at the end of this video. So watch, and it should be one of these two places. It's going to be called Test of Time. And the video is about how cars need to get tested, and we need guinea pigs to go out and pay full price, or invoice price like some people call it, So, you know, only 1% of customers actually pay invoice price. Majority of people pay MSRP or just a little bit below. If you think you're so good at negotiating, I mean, unless you're getting 25 to 35% off a car, no. Check your negotiation skills. It's just that simple. If you think you're getting an amazing deal, you're not. 25, 35%, that's what the profit on these cars are. On a $35,000 car, dealerships are gonna make 25, 35%. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. So I'm gonna wrap this video up really quickly. Invoice price is bullshit. Don't go for it. New and used cars have markups at about 30%. If you're not getting 30% off a car, you know you're not getting the best possible price. When a dealership is telling you, no, I'm not gonna give you 30% off a car, tell them to go fuck themselves and move on to the next dealer. I mean, literally, I'm just diving to so many topics. I wish I could just teach you a course. Oh wait, I can, because we actually have a course. It's called 60-Minute Car. You pay, you learn, you get out, you kick ass. Just that simple. You know this skill of car purchasing for the rest of your life. It's a skill you gotta have. In the 21st century, you gotta know how to set up Wi-Fi, how to connect a phone, how to set up a wireless printer, how to buy a car. Come on, get real. You're being taken advantage of if you are not getting best possible price in the car. Not only you, but your family also. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up below and click the subscribe button over my head, or watch one of those two videos if you want to see more money saving tips about cars. This is Dan with 60-Minute Car. I'm signing out, and I'll see you on the internet.